Hey, what's going on, friends and theme park fans? This is Silver Stix here for another Stix Top 6, where I count down the best and worst that theme parks have to offer. Alrighty folks, so I figured we'd start today's episode with a quote from Walt Disney himself. He said, "Physical America, the land itself should be as dear to us all as our political heritage and our treasured way of life. Its preservation and the wise conservation of its renewable resources concerns every man, woman, and child whose possession it is." Walt always looked to the future, and he loved our planet, and he wanted to see it grow bigger and better every day while we gave back to it in the process. Unfortunately, as we all know, Walt tragically passed away on December 15th, 1966. So to follow through with his wishes, in 1998, a new Walt Disney World theme park opened its gates to the public, with its focus and theme being all around the natural environment and animal conservation as a whole. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the legendary largest theme park in the world, Disney's Animal Kingdom. And not only is it the largest theme park, but it's also the one that holds the most amount of controversial attractions. What people consider good or bad, there just seems to be a debate for nearly every single one of them. So that's what I wanted to throw my hat in the ring and discuss today here on Stix Top 6, as we head into the wild to count down the absolute best and worst attractions at Disney's Animal Kingdom. And if you're new around here, the way a best and worst top 6 works is simple. Numbers 6 through 4 are the top 3 worst, while numbers 3 through 1 are the top 3 best. Really easy stuff to follow. So finally, with all that out of the way, let's jump right into today's countdown. Kicking off our 3 worst attractions in Disney's Animal Kingdom, we'll fly over to Asia, where we'll find Up, a Great Bird Adventure. This 25-minute show was a reworking of an original live bird show that just so happened to be a fan favorite amongst the Disney community, called Flights of Wonder. Basically, they just threw in Doug and Russell to spew some unfunny dialogue alongside the birds during their normal routine, I assume to try to attract more people to the show using the IP. However, having the Up license involved with this at all is just completely irrelevant, and it seems to be having the opposite effect entirely. Every time I've seen this show, the crowds aren't huge at all, and people are either on their phone the entire time or just get up and leave during it constantly. Meanwhile, the old show had hilarious characters, more birds, and some witty and professional comedy. Nowadays it just feels like a shell of its former self. The show is on hiatus for the summer while some things are being updated, so fingers crossed it'll come back stronger, but after everything it's done wrong so far, it still definitely deserves its spot as one of the worst attractions in the park by far. Crawling over to Discovery Island right inside the Tree of Life itself, we'll be able to shrink down to the size of an ant to become honorary bugs in the Bugs Life 4D experience. It's tough to be a bug. And to give this attraction some credit right off the bat, it is a 9-minute show with an almost guaranteed walk-on time, so there's not much of a reason to say no to it, and it features some impressive 4D elements and animatronics, so from a completely technical standpoint, it is a pretty solid attraction. However, when you take into account the amount of children who end up bawling their eyes out at the spiders coming from the ceiling or the giant hopper animatronic, or that you get blasted in the face by a stink bug and the smell lasts way too long, and because the attraction was opened back in 1998, the smell just sort of lingers in the showroom from the second you enter until the second you leave. It's just kinda hard to recommend this one to anyone unless you're trying to kill some time for a fast pass, or if you're with someone who's never seen it before. Honestly, the coolest part of the attraction is getting to be inside the Tree of Life and getting a lot of photo opportunities on your walk up to the entrance, but again, unless you're a huge Bugs Life fan, this one's probably worth just skipping over. Hopping aboard the Wildlife Express train for our number 1 worst attraction at Disney's Animal Kingdom, the animation experience at Conservation Station. Aside from the fact you have to show up for the train 40 minutes early for this 25-minute class, this just feels like straight up school. The edutainment mindset for Animal Kingdom is completely lost here. While I'm trying to go about my day, The last thing I want to do is use over an hour to sit quietly and awkwardly while I learn to draw some Lion King characters. I could just look that up on YouTube. I know I'm being pretty critical of this one, but I honestly like the conservation station. I like the entire area of Rafiki's Planet Watch. I think it's an awesome little extension of the park, but the animation experience just doesn't make any sense to me at all. A lot of the things they explain about real-life animals influencing Disney animation is explained on the Kilimanjaro Safari, which is actually worth putting in over an hour for. There's really just no reason to go through this. In 2019, you can find a tutorial for absolutely anything online, making this new attraction already outdated and irrelevant. Maybe this sort of thing would have worked like 20 years ago, but in this day and age, the animation experience easily earns its spot as the worst attraction at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Alrighty, let's get on a more positive note to start our 3 best attractions as we cruise on over to Africa for an extraordinary 18-minute expedition through the African savanna on the one-of-a-kind Kilimanjaro safaris. This attraction is as close to an actual African safari as you can possibly get without just going to Africa itself. It features 34 different species of animals, including lions, elephants, giraffes, wild dogs, and so many more, all of which take place within a 110-acre radius, and because this area is inhabited by actual animals, each and every ride you take will be completely different. Sometimes the animals will be running around, jumping and playing, sometimes they'll be eating and drinking, which I actually think is pretty funny to watch, or sometimes they'll be asleep the entire ride. I personally think the best times to go are early in the morning or later at night because the animals are extremely active and you'll be able to get some really cool sights and hopefully even take some really cool pictures. And to top it all off, this entire excursion is led by a very knowledgeable and hilarious safari guide that will always make even the slower parts of the tour super fun. This attraction is truly a staple of Animal Kingdom and shows the best in not only Disney Imagineering, but in their concern for wildlife conservation and safety as well. It's genuinely a one-of-a-kind experience, and you would be crazy to miss out on it on any trip to the Animal Kingdom. Hiking our way over to Asia, we'll be able to find Disney's tallest artificial mountain and my personal favorite Disney roller coaster of all time, Expedition Everest. I mean, come on, what's there not to love about this one? There's an 80-foot drop, 3-minute ride time, 50 miles per hour max speed, a 25-foot Yeti animatronic, even though it's stagnant in beam mode, still amazing, and there's even a 40 miles per hour backwards section through the dark. The whole thing is just perfect, I swear. And take it from me, I'm usually not a thrill-tastic kind of guy. I get anxious and sick on giant coasters, but there's just something about Everest that just doesn't faze me. And if you're similar like that, I'd say give Everest a try. It honestly always leaves me wanting even more, and I'll oftentimes hop right back in line for this one because of how amazing it really is. I really just can't recommend it enough. I guess it might be a little intense for young children, maybe take them on Dinosaur instead, but for nearly anybody else, this is the perfect combination of roller coaster intensity and dark ride storytelling that only Disney could pull off. And I'd say it's a must-do for any Animal Kingdom vacation. Soaring over to Pandora, the world of Avatar, for our number 1 best attraction today, where we'll be able to link ourselves up to an avatar and take flight on the back of a Banshee in Avatar Flight of Passage. Let me know down in the comments if you guessed this would be number 1. Alright, Flight of Passage is just incredible. It's truly beyond words. This 4.5 minute 4D flying experience is unlike any other attraction you'll find anywhere else. From feeling the breathing patterns of the Banshee on your legs while you ride, to the smells and wind blowing in your face from the Pandorian wildlife and plant life you'll fly by, this entire experience just feels like the future. I've literally seen people cry on this ride because of how realistic and gorgeous it is. You genuinely feel transported to another heavenly-like world, and from the queue to the exit, there's not 1 second this ride doesn't have all your attention. After 2 years of being open, it's still the most popular ride in all of Walt Disney World, and for good reason. And even though the wait is going to be intense, I'm talking 140 to 210 minutes regularly, the queue and anticipation will fuel every second you're in there. Just ask anyone. Flight of Passage is beyond worth the wait, and it's worth it on most trips to the park. It's the definition of a one-of-a-kind attraction, and it easily earns its place as the best attraction in all of Disney's Animal Kingdom. Alrighty folks, that's gonna about wrap up the best and worst attractions at Disney's Animal Kingdom. I really hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, and share the video around. It'd mean a lot and help out a ton. Also leave in the comments what your favorite and least favorite attractions throughout the Animal Kingdom are so we can start a conversation down there. But anyway folks, with all that being said, this is your Safari Guide Silver Stix signing out. I hope you have a great rest of your day, theme park fans. Peace.